Hello, all. Welcome on in to your tarot spread for the week ahead. This will be for the week starting Monday, April 13th, 2026. And this week I'm going to be using The Good Tarot by Colette Baron-Reid. I love the illustrations on this deck. They're sort of what is it called? Sort of an Art Nouveau-ish, maybe Art Nouveau inspired. The illustrations are by Gina Della Grottaglia. Again, if I'm saying that name wrong, please let me know. Please feel free to correct me. And this deck, I've decided to turn to this deck this week because the past 2 weeks, the first week we were using the James Bond Tarot, which is a vintage tarot, very associated with the James Bond movie Live and Let Die. And then last week we used the Pulp Tarot, which I felt like segued pretty nicely together. This week I feel like, a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of maybe softer energy in some ways, a little bit of positive intentions. Not that the other decks had negative intentions, but sometimes we want a little bit a deck that's a little bit more positively minded. There we go. That is in frame for us. And she names the minor arcana in this deck after the elements that they're associated with. So our first card here is Ten of Earth, and that would be Ten of Pentacles. So the Pentacles are Earth, the Cups are water, the Wands are fire, and the Swords are air. I believe the Swords are air, but we will find out. Maybe we'll get a sword card. And I will say, not exactly the easiest deck to shuffle. Not a complaint on the cards, but they're the glossiness of them makes them a little sticky. That's okay. That is okay. Just means we are really putting in the effort to get that reading out into the world. To say this past week, maybe it's some travel that I've had, maybe it's the weather. It's been raining really hard the past few days. I've been feeling a little low energy, so another reason to choose this deck to sort of boost some positivity into the world here. Here we go. I hope you all are doing well. It's our second full week of April. Ooh. So far, we've got a couple of Wands and a couple of Tens. If we were playing poker, we'd have two pair, everybody. We are not playing poker, though. We've got some big old jumpers here. There we go. Oh, that was all we needed. Look at that. Rock on, everybody. And our card of the week is the Ten of Earth, or Ten of Pentacles. And as you can see, this art is really very lovely, sort of fantasy inspired. Like I said, I think there's little hints of Art Nouveau in here, but maybe mostly fantasy inspired. And I love that the character on the card here looks like, an earth sprite. This is someone who is really connected with everything they have in life. This is someone that is feeling the blessings, the bounty, the abundance of what they have in life, and is able to receive. They're able to receive all the goodness. And so this week, look at what you have. Look at what you already have in your life. Look at what has come to you. Maybe it's what's come to you in the past week. Maybe you expect to come to you this week. Even if it's an order you placed and that thing is coming to you this week, be thankful for it. Really lean into it. Be thankful for your family in your life. I love that there's a wolf here, but be thankful for the people, the animals, the things around you that help to support you and help to ground you and boost you up. Be thankful for the actual resources you have, even if it's not money. Be thankful for, if you have a roof over your head, if you have food to eat, if you have shoes to wear that don't have holes in them. Be thankful for all of that. And I know that might sound a little simplistic, but sometimes we don't think we have much. And then when we start to count even the small or most obvious blessings, it really does make us realize how rich we are. And I think that's our lesson this week, is to use this Ten of Pentacles energy and think about, how rich are we? What do we have in our life? And I do a daily gratitude journal. Sometimes it's one thing I'm grateful for. Sometimes it's 10 things. But I can't recommend the practice enough. And if you're not really a journaler, maybe just before you go to bed at night or when you wake up in the morning, let your first thought be something you're grateful for or thankful for, or a blessing you have in your life. So that is our 10 of Earth energy, or 10 of Pentacles energy. Next we have 6 of Wands. And 6 of Wands, here we are. We are up in the air. Maybe we're not quite sure what direction we're going. Maybe we feel like we are floating here. Maybe we're feeling like maybe there's a little bit of chance of something going wrong here. But whatever it is, we are going to get through it. We are going to make it through. We're on a journey. We are on a journey, and we are going to get to the other side. And like I said, not everything is perfect. Not everything is perfect, but we do have the support around us that we need to get through. And when we do get to the other side, we get to celebrate that. We get to burn bright. We get to stand in that victory, knowing it was hard won. This card is a card about having done the work, or having, quote unquote, fought the fight to get to this point. And we get to celebrate that. We get to celebrate the lessons we've learned. We get to celebrate how strong we are. We get to celebrate the confidence in our skills. So that is our 6 of Wands, 6 of Fire. So I think that goes, has a good connection to our 10 of Pentacles, in that here we're appreciating the success, the wealth, the resources, the material comforts that we have, that we've accumulated through work. And here we're celebrating our victory. We're celebrating the work we've done this far to get to this point. Here we have 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands, again, tying into our 6 of Fire here, how there's a battle here, or this hasn't been easy sailing. 5 of Wands lets us know, there are struggles. There are struggles in life. There are battles we're going to fight. There are things that maybe keep us landlocked when we want to soar. We might want to be up here, but there are things that keep us landlocked. Sometimes our crown might feel heavy. She's got a crown of flowers here. Sometimes that, even though to other people it's like, it's just flowers, how heavy could it be? Sometimes our crown is heavy. Sometimes the weight we carry is heavy and prevents us from jumping up. And I think here what we're leaning into for 5 of Wands is, how is this battle really worth it? Like, is it, you get to decide how big of a battle, how big of a struggle it is. You get to decide how big of an issue you want to make it. You get to decide how you react or how you act to something, and therefore get to determine how the result of it comes out. Because let's stay in this energy over here. Let's stay in this 10 of Pentacles Six of Wands energy, where we're really celebrating ourselves and enjoying things. And whatever this annoyance is, we don't have to give it all that attention. We get to decide. For Wednesday, we have the Ten of Water, or the Ten of Cups. And much like our Ten of Pentacles, where we are enjoying all of the resources, all of the physical material blessings that life has brought us, Ten of Water wants us to appreciate all of those relationships we have, all of those connections, all of that love we have in our life. And it doesn't have to be just romantic love. It can be the connections we feel with pets. It can be the connections we feel with friends. It can be the connections we feel with essentially anyone, coworkers. And just take some time to celebrate that. So we're celebrating the blessings we have. We're celebrating our successes and the work we've done to get to this point. We're celebrating our love in our life and connections and friendships and relationships. And much like saying some gratitude for material resources you have, take some time to say some gratitude for people in your life. And for extra bonus credit, tell those people how much they mean to you. And you don't have to make it weird. You can just be like, hey man, I appreciate you. Or for a coworker, you'd be like, hey, you know what? Thanks for doing that report. I really appreciate it. It's never too late to let people know, or it's never a bad thing to let people know how much you appreciate them. Celebrate those connections. For Thursday, we have transformation in this deck, which is actually the Death card in a traditional deck, but I love that in the Good Tarot, which is a little bit more positively focused or positive minded, some of the cards are renamed in a more positive light. And really, the Death card is about transformation. It's not about death. Rarely is it about actual death. And it's never about the death of the person that is being read for. It's never. But sometimes things do pass, sometimes, things do pass, things do end. And transformation is about that. It's about maybe not even so much something ending, but taking a situation and turning it into something else, turning it into better, turning it into something that serves you now. So it can't stay how it is. You can't, again, the whole adage about, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. It's not going to happen. This is about taking the situation and making that situation something new, or approaching it from a new angle, approaching it from a way that's going to turn it around, flip it, and end up transforming your life, your situation, yourself. And we're really invited to harness that energy on Thursday. On Friday, we have another one of our renamed cards in the deck. We have card number 15. Here it is, Temptation. And in the regular deck, this would be the Devil. And really, where are you distracted? What is calling your attention? What is tempting you away from what you might truly want? What is distracting you from this transformation that needs to happen, this change that needs to happen? What's distracting you or tempting you away from these feelings of gratitude and love for, others in your life? What's tempting you away from celebrating yourself? Maybe it's this little thing here. Maybe it's this little annoyance here that's keeping you grounded. And this could be a card of addiction, can be actual addiction. It could be, how much time are you spending on your cell phone? That's also something I've been reevaluating recently, is how much time I spend on my phone. But how much time are you spending on your phone? And is it keeping you from these really real connections and enjoyments in life? Is it keeping you distracted? Is it keeping you stuck? And I'm not just talking about the cell phone anymore. This could be anything. Like it could be a relationship that needs to transform, that you're stuck in, that you're addicted to, quote unquote, that you keep getting distracted by, so that you don't do this work. So on Friday, let's take some real hard looks at how what's drawing our attention. That's kind of the way I get it, is what's tempting us by drawing our attention away from where our focus should be in life to get to where we need to go. And take some time with that on Friday. On Saturday, we have the Emperor, and this is a time to stand in your power. This is a time to be very clear, to set boundaries, to set structure. Could be setting up structure for yourself, could be setting up structure and boundaries for maybe family members who distract you. And set up whatever this transformation is. I'm going to use an obvious one. Like if you have been like, you know what, I'm going to run a marathon this year, set up your training plan. Take that time, set up your training plan, do the research on the training plan, set up, a schedule and stick to it. But the Emperor is all about laws and rules and also being a leader. So again, stand in that power, celebrate yourself, stand in that power, appreciate the resources you do have to get this done. And maybe be a leader for these people, this friend group, this family, and set the structure, set the boundaries, set the rules, and follow them, carry through, be a leader in that, whatever it is. And it's something here to get to this transformation, whatever that means for you. On Sunday, we have the Magician, which works really well with all of this, because the Magician is going to take our thought work and our actual work and put them together to make it real. I love that he looks like a Santa Claus, like kind of a badass Santa. I'm sorry, I just do. I love the art on this card that he looks like a badass Santa. But really, Sunday is a day, take it from the head, take it from the tasks at hand, the structure you built here, and make it real. Take that first step. Hey, if it's training for a marathon, take that first step on Sunday, literal step. If it's a new, online business idea, take that step. Make a web page or a website. Sorry, web page. I sound like I'm 90 years old. But no, set up a website. Take the first steps to make it real on Sunday. Or take the next step. If you've already got that website up, take the next step to make it real on Sunday. Know that you have the tools. You have the tools. You have the resources. You have the emotional support. You have the belief in yourself. You know what boundaries to set with these insignificant conflicts. You know that it's time to move beyond, and you know what's distracting you, and you know what's keeping you from it. And the Magician is like telling you to put all of that together. The Magician is telling you it's time. It's time to put all of this together and make it real. For some of us, that can be scary. For some of us, we know all of this, but making it real can be scary. And so be gentle with yourself. Be kind with yourself. Lean into the support. Lean into these friends, these family members, the pets that are supporting you with this. Just know that you are ready. You have this. You have the skills. You have the time. You have the resources. You have the confidence in yourself. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there and be seen. Don't be afraid to be confident in these skills. And that is our message for this week. Thank you all for joining me, as always. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, all of the above. If you are interested in a personal reading, which I love doing for people, I deliver it as a video recording. So you don't have to be live. I can work around any schedule. Feel free to check out my website to book that. And until next week, I'll see you then.